Married at First Sight Australia, Episode 22. So, for the first time in Married at First Sight history, these guys are going on a couples retreat. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is not going to be as straightforward as we think. Anyway, moving on, we now see all the couples packing, getting ready for this trip to wherever for their retreat. So these guys finally arrived at their destination. It's actually a beautiful place, actually very nice. I love all this intricate rooms within this big house, very nice. And then you saw Bryce and Melissa find this extra house on the same plot of land. I'm thinking, why Bryce and Melissa? How comes they found it? That seems too convenient to me. Comes across very staged. Yeah, I don't know. Is it just me? And then when Bryce went back to the house to try and get their bags, you saw Beck and Jake turn up at the house whilst Melissa was there. Again, very staged to me. That doesn't seem natural. Of all people, Beck and Jake. Yeah, I'm not falling for that. You then saw Melissa looking very awkward, looking very stressed, thinking, Bryce, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Beck's here, Beck's here. I can't do this alone. I can't do this alone. Eventually, we saw Bryce come back with Jason, with all the luggage in tow. Bryce asking, how did they get in? Melissa saying, they just walked in. Yes, they just walked in. And why not? No one's claimed the place yet. Anyway, so everybody's doing the tour of this house. Everybody's feeling a little awkward. Most of all, Jason. Jason, I noticed, doesn't like conflict. Doesn't like to be in the middle of anything. He couldn't get out of there quick enough. Did you see how quickly he ran? Little pussy. Rebecca and Jake were still touring the house, being a nuisance. Bryce and Melissa sitting there thinking, when are they going to leave? When are they going to leave? So we can lock the door behind them. Talk about awkward. Did you actually see the awkwardness of it all? Oh dear. Give me strength. And when they had finally gone, of course, Bryce couldn't get off his seat quick enough to lock the door behind them. Coming back to the big house, we saw all the couples claim their rooms and start to unpack. Where it came to Booker and Brett, these two had their own single rooms. Yes, single rooms. These two are still not talking. Not too sure how this is going to go, but I'm sure we're going to find out later. Continuing on, you saw everybody starting to enjoy themselves out in the garden. Yeah, having fun in the pool, etc, etc, etc. Then we saw Patrick arrange a romantic spa date for him and Belinda, just to show how far they've come. This is going to be interesting. What we saw was Patrick pouring his heart out to Belinda of how he's feeling about her. He did turn around and say, I think I'm falling for you. That's what he said. That's what he said. Poor Belinda just didn't know what to do with herself. She just kept staring, listening, staring. Not much reaction in her face. Looking very awkward. Do I say something? Should I say something? I don't know what to do. Yeah, she had that look. And then at the end of it, she said, thanks for sharing. Oh my goodness. When it's not reciprocated, that is just too awkward. That is so awkward. I'm not too sure what to say. Watching that, I felt sorry for Patrick. I really did. But then she did recover that conversation by saying that she couldn't see her life without him outside of the experiment. So that was a good recovery. She just didn't have the words to say anything else. But that was a good recovery. Yeah, she said it. I can't imagine my life without you. Especially the time we've spent together so far. So that would be awkward to not see you there. Yeah, that was a nice recovery. Next we saw all the couples get ready for an evening outdoors, on the lawn, getting to know each other. Not too sure what you called it. Was it a dinner? I don't know. Hors d'oeuvres? I don't know. Haven't got a clue what you call that. Just an evening of outdoor food and drinks. Yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. Haven't got a clue what to call it. You saw Brett speaking to Kerry about the situation with Booker, and they haven't spoken. He hasn't seen her. And Kerry reassured him to say that, oh, she's next door to us. Not to worry, she'll be down soon. Something like that. And yeah, so it looks like these two still haven't spoken. Yeah, we're still there. We eventually saw Booker arrive, and she was greeted by a few of the girls. Brett was still sitting down. He was thinking, oh, are we saying hello to everybody? He picked himself up and awkwardly went over to greet her. He gave her a hug. She smiled awkwardly, as if to say, oh, I didn't really want to hug you. I just wished you'd stay over there and let me stay over here. She had that type of look. It was just awkward. I can't even explain it. It just was awkward. You actually saw Booker talking to Beck, who was sitting next to her, saying, what just happened? And as Beck said, he was trying to say hi. But Booker couldn't understand it. She wanted him to explain himself. He's not going to do it right there and now. No, he's not. No, he's not. Can you see where you are right now? You're in an environment with a group of people. Chill. It will happen. It will happen. Oh, she's just too intense. My goodness, Booker. Relax. He's just putting out the olive branch to let you know that he's interested and he wants to be friends and let's talk. That's really what he was doing. Read the signals. Please read. Finally, we saw Bryce and Melissa turn up at this get-together. You could see them bracing themselves, thinking, here we go again. Let's hope we can get through this one without any drama. But of course, we know it doesn't run that way. The first question that was asked was from Patrick to Melissa, how she was feeling about the decision that her husband, Bryce, made last night. And she tried to justify it by saying, we've talked about it. I've forgiven him. It shouldn't have anything to do with anybody else. Yeah, end of story there. Then it was Beck that intervened by saying, I hope he apologised. I just knew it was coming. And Melissa answered her by saying, yes, he did. Yes, he apologised. You then saw Bryce come back at Beck by saying, you seem to have a fascination or an obsession with our relationship. And Beck's reply to that was, I feel sorry for Melissa because she's ended up with the biggest douchebag on the show. That's what she said. And that, I have to agree. You then saw Jake comment by saying, Melissa is such a lovely person. She's so loyal. And Bryce is not deserving of it. And then the conversation went into Bryce calling Beck a bully. Yeah, we went there again. Oh, I can't. I just can't. It ended with them saying, "You do your relationship and we'll do ours." Yep, that's where it ended. Then it was like an awkward silence amongst the whole group. Until somebody spoke. I'm not too sure who spoke. I think it was Brett. Yes, it was. He asked Paddy, did he have anything more to say? Yep, it just seemed to lighten the mood. After that, everybody just got on with it. Dear. And then there was one moment where you saw Beck say to Jason, "Are you alright?" And Jason replied, "Yeah, I'm alright. I just don't want to get involved. I'm friends with both of you two," as in both couples. Yeah, he doesn't want to get involved. Man of few words, as we all know. Shortly after, you saw Bryce call Jason to go for a walk. Yep, them two went for a walk. Then you heard Alana saying to the camera about Jason's loyalty to Bryce. She doesn't like that friendship there. She doesn't like it. I don't like it looking at it. He looks like a muppet. The way Jason hangs on Bryce's tail, he may as well be Melissa. So we saw Alana continue to talk about the situation with Bryce and Jason, how Jason agrees with Bryce's move in regards to the leave and stay situation. He saw it as heroic. And Alana just can't understand his loyalty to him and why he would think that's heroic, that type of behaviour. His intelligence level says it all for me. Whilst that was happening, by the way, Melissa was part of this group too, so she was hearing all of this. We know what's going to happen next. Melissa's going to run back and tell Bryce what just happened. She can't help herself. Loyalty to a T. As I predicted, shortly afterwards you saw her get up off her seat and walk away. She ran back towards Bryce, saying everything was fine. No, nothing to talk about. No, all's good. But as usual, Bryce always gets it out of her. She can't help herself. Her face says it all. Something went down. The rest of the party went to have dinner inside the house, whilst Bryce and Melissa went home to their little house on the property. This is the usual. It's us against them. Yeah, the usual. But I actually wasn't expecting Bryce and Melissa to turn up at the big house. But they did. They came for dinner. I thought, oh God. Yep, it's gonna go down. Here we go again. So we've got Bryce with his back up, asking, did we not put all this to bed? He was looking at Jake to start with, and he knew that Jake didn't have anything to do with it. So who brought it back up? After we said we're going to squash this, leave it alone, let it go. Melissa then said, I had to walk away when I heard you lot all start talking about the same subject all over again. And Bryce wanted to know who brought it up. Everybody's looking around the table thinking, did we say anything? Do we say anything? Shall we say anything? Shall we leave it? Eventually, it was Beck that said, we were speaking to Alana about how she felt about the situation. Yeah. So Beck was the one that brought Alana into the conversation. Threw her under the bus, whatever you want to say. Yeah. She had no choice but to speak. In answer to that, Alana turned around and said she doesn't like speaking about this because Jason and Bryce are very, very close. And me commenting on this affects our relationship. What type of madness is that? I know what she's saying, but how mad does that sound? If I can't comment about my friend's relationship, If I can't tell him what he's doing wrong, what type of friend am I? Jason might as well be Bryce's second wife. The amount of times he licks his ass is ridiculous. Melissa then made a speech on the back of this, saying that she's sick and tired of this being brought up. None of you understand mine and Bryce's relationship. That's really what she said. She really wants people to just keep their nose out. Yep, because this is stressing her out. And what she said was, the more you lot keep bringing it up, she could see herself leaving because of all of this. The stress is too much. And you've only got yourselves to blame for making that decision. Something like that, she said. The choice really is Bryce's, because you ain't going anywhere. If Bryce says to stay, you're staying. If Bryce says to leave, yeah, I can see you leaving with him. Yeah, Bryce will have the overall decision on this. It won't be you. I can tell you that now. The next thing we saw was confrontation between Bryce and Beck again. Yep, it's them two again. I can't remember all the details. Very much her being a bully. She's calling him a bully. Everything that he does, he doesn't even apologise for his bad behaviour at the commitment ceremony. He still hasn't apologised. That's really what she said. And then it went back and forth with the two of them. I just got tired. I can't remember where we were now. But then we saw Jake speak up. I could see Jake was working up to something, because at all this time, Bryce was standing above the table. Everybody was sat down, but Bryce was standing up, delivering his message all that time. And Jake got to a point where, no, we're not having this. If you want to deliver a message, sit down with the rest of us. And then it became about them two. Yep, it became about Jake and Bryce. Jake's defending his wife. Bryce is defending his wife. And before you know it, the boys on the table were trying to calm Jake down, and vice versa with Bryce. Yeah, it got to a point where they just stopped. Bryce walked out with his wife. Jake sat down. Becca said something about don't talk like that. She was talking to her husband when she said it. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Don't talk like that. What's he done? Except for defend you. I'm confused. Where are you going with this? As Jake said, he's not going to have anybody talk to his wife like that. Yep. End of story. But I just didn't understand Beck's comment. Yeah, I didn't understand that bit. But then we saw it was, what's his name? New guy, Johnny. It was Bryce, Melissa, outside, calming each other down. And Johnny played like a mediator with those two, telling them about their relationship. And it's nice to see them hug, and I can see what you have type of thing. Yeah. But as he said, when he came back to the table, I don't know the full story, but what I saw out there was quite endearing with them two hugging. Yeah. Then the conversation went on to, it was Alana brought up the subject of Jason being Bryce's friend and why he doesn't talk to him about his behaviour. And as Jason usually says, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. But then Beck said something about the same thing. He's your friend. You should get involved. You should be pulling him up on his behaviour. Yeah, it went down that lane. And like he said, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. Mr. Pussy. I'm going to say it. Pussy. Licks Bryce's ass. Yes, he licks Bryce's ass. And as Alana said to Jason, I don't want us to get into an argument about it, but you should be pulling up your friend. That's really what she's trying to say. Because the more she wants to talk about him, the more he defends him. And then him and Alana end up falling out over it. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm trying to work out who's he married to. Jason, who are you married to? Who are you married to? Bryce or Alana? Which one? Which one? And as Alana says, he shouldn't be encouraging Bryce's behaviour. He should be pulling him up on it. Jason then turned around and said, "How am I encouraging him?" And this is where Alana turned around and said, "You said he was heroic in what he wrote." This is about the leave stay situation. You said it was heroic of him. And that's where, what's his name, Jason piped up to say, excuse me. Yeah, I could see he was getting heated up with that statement there. In reply to that, he said, the thought behind it was heroic. That's what I was saying, implying. It's the same thing to me. You still backed him on it, whichever way you look at it. You still think he's heroic. That's a stupid move. That's what it was. A dumb move. Even Beck was saying, how is that heroic? Jason then tried to justify his comment to the table. He wasn't getting anywhere fast with that. Nope. Beck still came at him. Same with Alana. And as Alana says, now we're going to end up falling out because of this. Because he doesn't see. The guy's blind. That's his bro. Yeah, that's his bro. Bryce is his bro. His bro comes first before his wife. Yep. I told you about his mentality. He's not looking for a relationship. He is not looking for a relationship. This guy doesn't know how to be in one. When talking to the camera, he then turned around and said about Alana throwing him under the bus. Our private conversations, she brought to the surface in front of everybody. She threw me under the bus. No loyalty. That's really what he said. But then the loyalty should be with you and your wife as well. But instead, all I see is loyalty with Bryce and not with your wife. Not long after that, the evening came to a close. So what we saw next were everybody getting settled into their rooms, settling down for the night. Everybody talking about the drama that just happened. Yeah, and so on and so on. And then we saw Brett talking to the camera about him and Booker's relationship. They didn't get to resolve anything because of the dramas of tonight. So hopefully tomorrow he gets a chance to speak to her. Next thing you saw was a knock at the door. Patrick and Belinda have adjoining rooms to Brett. He knocked on the adjoining door, wanting to jump into bed with the two of them. Yes, you heard me. Actually, it was quite funny to watch. He looked like the little baby boy coming in the middle of the two of them. Yeah, let's cuddle down for the night. And the lights went out. Yep, that's what we saw. The last conversation we saw was again with Alana and Jason. These two were arguing about the situation of her throwing him under the bus, not being loyal, not having his back. What we discussed in private is what we discussed in private. And as Alana said, but that's your view. Why is it private? Why is it a private thing? You saying that he's heroic. Why is that a private conversation? She says he's not being logical. Then he just got into a huff, just going in. I don't know what he said to her, but she said, don't talk to me like that. Yep, that's what I heard. Don't talk to me like that. And he turned around and says, when it comes to the commitment ceremony, I want you to say leave. Just write leave. Because I'm ready to go. That's virtually what he said. Yep, I don't trust her. No, I can't see me and her having a future. That's virtually what he said. That's virtually what he said. How old is he? This is a guy that knows nothing about relationships. Knows nothing. This is a guy that's been in no end of situationships. Because the first sign of trouble, he does a runner. He's that guy. Again, I'm seeing Josh. Married at First Sight UK. I'm seeing Josh. Ugh. I don't know what more to say about him. He's like a little boy. There's something boyish about him. I look at him, I see somebody that's weak. Alana, you're wasting your time. You knew it from the get-go, but you ignored the signs. You were trying your best to make it work. But you started this relationship wrong in the first place by having sex with him. You should have got to know him first. Work out all his ins and outs, the intricacies, the likes, the dislikes, what you have in common, what you don't have in common, all of it. You should have done that first before jumping into bed with him. Because as I said, this guy does not talk. This guy does not talk. He's a man of very few words. He doesn't know how to have a conversation. He doesn't know how to debate. He doesn't know how to converse. Which is why he licks Bryce's arse the way he does. Bryce says jump. Jason's saying, how high do you want me to jump? Yeah. I'm done. And so is Alana by the looks of things. We saw her packing her case. But he's just going to sweet her up like he normally does. Apologise. And then she'll be back into his arms again like nothing's happened. Yeah, I'm done. I'm tired of repeating myself. Some people got some hard lessons to learn. They're just going to learn the hard way. So this is where I'm going to leave it. If you like what you heard, please like, comment and subscribe. Till next time.